Hey guys, welcome back to this month's episode of Mods of the Month. I'm very excited for today's episode. We have a large stack of mods that will 100% add a lot of quality to your game. Please leave a like and a comment for the algorithm because it just helps me out. We'll start off with the smaller texture mods of this past month. The first one is Unique Stros rum. This is a small retexture of a Stros rum, as you probably guessed. With this mod you can get a high quality retexture that can go from 2K to 4K. This really helps out with adding some immersion to your game, since as you guys know, immersion is my favorite part of a game. It's the most important part of a game. It's probably the best part of a game, just to be immersed and have a good time. The next smaller texture mod is Elsopa's HD Bloody Rags. As you guys can guess, this mod is a HD retexture of Bloody Rags. Now, I know that you're thinking, why are you including these smaller mods that really don't add much to your game? Well, I say, but after a while, the amount of smaller textures we download will build up, and then you'll realize why. But this mod is also in 2K or 4K and looks really good. We'll start off on some larger mods right now, and we're going to do something cool. This is First Person Combat Animations Overhaul. This mod is my new favorite animation mod. This mod includes various animations for different weapons across all types. My personal favorite animation would be the mace. Have a look at the difference of the animations from the standard animations of a vanilla game and the modded ones. As you guys can see, the modded ones has a sort of like an oomph, and it also reminds me slightly of Mordhau. You can really feel the hit, especially when using blunt weapons like the mace. But why don't we take a look at the swords? The swords have a massive swinging power, but most of our animations haven't been revamped, but some of them have, as you guys can see on the screen now. The swords definitely look amazing when being swung and feel really good. The axe animations look absolutely sick. If you've ever used an axe in real life, either chopping wood or using throwing axes, you know that feeling of hitting something and getting that jolt through your arms. This mod absolutely gives me this feeling, and it feels so good being able to swing that axe. Also, not forgetting the amazing katana animations that are introduced in this mod. This mod adds insanely immersive ways that your character should be handling their katana. This is based on accurate Japanese swordsmanship and adds a hell of a lot of immersion to your game. The daggers also got a revamp, adding different types of stabbing and slicing animations, which is really good for anyone who's playing an assassin build. So I know we've seen a lot of grass mods over the years of Skyrim modding, from grass mods like Verdant, Vados Brom, Northern Grass, and my personal favourite grass mod, Grass Field. We've all come to the conclusion that these grass mods aren't too unique, and with the thousands of grass mods for Skyrim on the Nexus, surely there can't be a grass mod that makes my game look even better. Well, introducing Folkvangr, a massive grass overhaul to Skyrim's landscape. This mod adds different styles of grass all through Skyrim, with the long wispy grass of Whiterun's tundra, to the autumn falls of the Rift, to the green groves of Falkreath Hold. This mod brings a touch of fantasy to your life. The grass looks insanely good, sparse in some places but highly dense and lush in others, making it incredibly unique and adding more immersion to your game. Now, I have quite the large segment right here. We're going to be overhauling multiple vendors' shops in Solitude using some of the more recent addition to JK's library of mods. Let's start it off with the winking Skeever. The winking Skeever was drab and dusty and lacked the life of a medieval fantasy inn. So why don't we improve that immensely with JK's winking Skeever? This mod adds a ton of new decorations in and around the place, making it feel more homely or tavernly just for the context of this mod. It just honestly looks amazing, and the multiple new details like the oven and what's around it, as well as the drinks on the top shelf, and also the balcony so you can look out into the beauty of solitude and drink your wine in awe of it. It looks great and gives you a new reason to take a look inside once in a while. Let's take a look in a quaint little shop. Now, we all know where we just like to sell and dump our obtained items when we get to solitude. You know, maybe shed some baggage and get some gold. But what if a place where we sold all that was interesting and pleasing to the eye? Well, here is JK's Bits and Pieces. This mod aims to decorate this shop by adding multiple items on display, as well as add some cool furniture in the shop. Now, as you walk in, you can see the items sold to her by her many customers hanging from the wall, and all the books she's acquired through her trades. Now, this shop tells us about some history, instead of it being a boring item deposit just to make some quick gold. Now, JK has made a bunch of mods for pretty much all of Solitude's shops, so now we're moving on to JK's Angeline Aromatics. This shop is an alchemy shop, and in the base vanilla game you might be able to figure that out, but with this it is completely obvious. You can clearly see that it's an alchemy shop from the mushrooms on the wall and the potion bottles, and everything just adds to the atmosphere. It looks really cool and adds so much immersion to the game, so much that in fact we'll have a quick little montage. The two sisters in Solitude that we love to hate have always said that they have had the best shop in Skyrim. But does that shop really represent what they say? I mean, take a look. Does it look like the shop where the best clothes in Skyrim can be bought? I mean, maybe. But why don't we make it look 10 times better? This is JK's Radiant Raiment. Now this shop looks amazing and truly reflects what's being sold. From clothes on hangers to jewelry in cases to the ribbons layering the walls and hanging from the ceiling. This mod is a really cool addition to your game. It brings life to the store and in general to all of Solitude. I know how much you guys love new shields, so why don't I show off this amazing new mod that brings 3 new shields to this game. This is Shields of Glory. This mod adds 3 brand new high quality shields to your game. These shields all require the ebony smithing perk, but the hours of smithing that it takes to acquire the skill to make these shields is 100% worth it. The first shield that we'll take a look at is the Dween Ven. This shield is heavily based on the Norse style, utilizing the Mjolnir sigil and a Valknut. The front of a shield has a very nice looking texture, since the wooden part of a shield protrudes outwards and adds a bit of a parallax effect. The shield also has a metal part on the edge. This edge is engraved with multiple runes and looks great. It also enforces the Norse part of this mod and looks really good. The second shield is Mulfen, and I do believe that all these shields have a Nordic style name, but this shield reminds me of a Turkish sort of shield. With the half moon crests and stars, the shield appears to be made of something like copper since it's heavily rusted. In my opinion, the rust adds a whole new level of depth and looks really good. It sort of reminds me of the new Minecraft update. The shield has a bunch of protruding parts as well, which also makes it appear to be parallaxed. Who knows, it might be. The third and final shield is Yvonne Ven. This shield kinda reminds me of the shields that were used by the Spartans in the movie The 300. But apart from that, it has an insane spiral pattern, which out of the 3 is definitely my favorite so far. It's 100% the most simple looking shield out of the 3, but there's something refreshing in that. It looks great, and I don't really have much else to say about it. This next mod is quite a simple mod, but a simple mod done well is always a good one. This is Echelon. This mod is a Renaissance inspired sword with a fancy guard. This mod is in 4K and can be crafted at a forge with a one-handed variant and a two-handed variant. This mod looks quite good in my opinion and definitely gives you those Breton vibes. Like, honestly, I could pick up the sword and travel my way to High Rock, and as the Bretons say, find a hill, become a king. This sword truly gives you those kingly vibes, and not only that, but it sort of reminded me of Game of Thrones. Maybe it's just a medieval style, I don't know, but I like it. Now, I love the Daedric armors, I love the style, I love the way they look, but the textures are a bit old and drab, and they have sort of lost their flair in my opinion. But now that problem is completely gone, with Daedric Armor Remastered. This mod is an immense retexture of the armors we all love, from the Mask of Clavicus Vile, the very item that tricked a baron to marry a disfigured woman just out of pure beauty. The god Clavicus Vile himself loves this boon. He is the god of deals, and how do we believe that with the vanilla mask? It could barely fulfill any of his requirements, but now with its 4K textures, it looks incredible. The engraved runes and the light gold layover on the silver behind it, it just looks la magnifique. But that's not all. It even retextures the ebony mail, turning the dreaded mail of Boethia into something great. Which would make it even more dangerous in my opinion. Something beautiful is always more attractive than something that's not. Speaking of beautiful, why not take a look at the hide of a great beast? The Saviour's hide has also had its own 4K retexture, making the infamous armor piece even better. I love this piece of armor because on my first playthrough, this is all I wore after obtaining it, so being able to see it like this left me in awe. Wow. It was almost like I was under a spell talking about that. So why don't we use Spellbreaker? Probably the best retexture out of all of these. It has a sort of charm or glow that you can clearly see when looking at this. Spellbreaker just feels way more powerful now. These metallic curves and cuts being adorned by the crystalline dwarven bulbs looks amazing. I can't stop looking at it. It's great. The last mod for this video is Boats and Ships, which is a small retexture of the, well, boats and ships. It's just something that I wanted to add so you guys can finally enjoy the Solitude docks. The textures are pretty good and I feel like this mod is well deserving of a place in this video. Well, that's it for today's video guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and comment for the algorithm. Thanks and have a good day.